Hello and welcome again, guys, to another Dark Star cast. I'm the Mish Gang, and we are here today on Daybreak Ladder Edition with our very own Shadowelock, the Red Terran versus the Blue Zerg. BEP's Jesus. At least I do believe it is pronounced Jesus, as there's that little dash. It looks like there was a brief pause in the game as well, and I'd just like to take this moment to first thank our sponsor, WhatNet, for sponsoring us, being our first sponsor. We love those guys. You can go check them out at whatnet.com or on Twitter at whatnet.com. And do follow those guys. They're really good. They offer some mumble hosting services, etc. They're really good. And yep. Do also check us out at DarkStarSC2 on Twitter as well. Do check me out at the Mish King on Twitter. Yep, now that the shoutouts are done with, let's get back to this game. And I do believe there was quite a bit of chat over there. Didn't really catch most of it. And yeah, this game is pretty awesome, man. But I do believe we will be seeing a macro game from Shadowelock, because he does opt to play a very macro intensive style. And XSplit is making his computer mad. And yeah, XSplit can be just so very heavy, guys. Would not really recommend using it. I would recommend using OBS, as that is just such a good software. XSplit used to be awesome during the beta and initially after release, but I don't know, man, it just changed so very much, became so much heavier. Yep. So it looks like we'll be seeing a 15 hatch from the Zerg player, sending his drone a little bit early to make his hatch. Just trying to, you know what they say, the early bird does catch the worm, or at least in this case, the early drone does not get blocked by an armory. And when I say armory, it's like a Terran could just throw in an armory over here, force you to either kill it or do enough damage to it that he'll eventually cancel, and that can like put you ahead as the Terran player. And looking like we're getting a 16 pool, trying to be a bit defensive. This new style of Terran can be a bit annoying since Reapers don't require any tech lab, and also you can make 2 Reapers at a time, a la the reactor, or at least via the reactor. At least, yeah. And I know, guys, it's like the morning. I'm still like waking up. I've had a little bit of coffee. I've had some caffeine, but still, I'm just human. Should be seeing an additional refinery be taken any second now by the Terran player, unless he opts to go for, I don't know, some kind of shenanigans. Shenanigans could be happening. Could be happening. And it looks like that, or either delaying his his orbital command just by a smidge. But it looks like the Terran is just trying to be as annoying as possible, trying to mine off these close mineral patches just to try and delay a little bit of mining, because the close mineral patches actually give you more minerals than the far away ones. And it looks like his work here is done, immediately leaving before the Zerglings could kill off his SCV, trying to make every worker count. And no supply depot as of yet, so knowing that there is no Zerg rushes or anything, he knows he's fine. And the question is, what will Shadowelock do in this game? I'd say he'll be opting for a macro-intensive style. This seems to be his normal build, going for the CC first into racks, into factory, getting out some Hellions, and then eventually transitioning into some bio mech in the sense of using some medevacs and of course using some Widow Mines. And if you're going to argue with me about medevacs not being mech, well, I'm sorry, but they are sure as hell not biological, otherwise they would be healing each other like Hellbats. And speaking of Hellbats, I mean, if Hellbats are biological in Hellbat form, doesn't that mean that Transformers are technically biological? If they're in like robotic form? But that is a different discussion for another day, and it looks like we could be seeing some heavy gas play from the Zerg player. He is going for his third, but we could be seeing some Muta play or some high tier Infestor, or possibly even some Hydralisk play, as he is opting to go very gas intensive relatively early in the game. Has not transferred any workers as of yet. Now he has, transferring additional workers. He is somewhat behind in the worker count. Normally you would not want to go this deep into gas this early, but let's see if he can pull it off. Sorry for not bringing up the nameplates earlier, guys, but I do believe this is because he has seen what's up in the Terran's base. He doesn't see the additional gases being taken as of yet, and Shadowelock going for his patented third command center. Doesn't really play at 4GG style, but he doesn't really like 4GG that much. No, 4GG is awesome. Sick nerd baller is sick. And we do see nice little wall being made using his dedicated creep queens to help block it off so that no Hellions can just run by. And it looks like one of the Lings does spot the 2 Hellions. No more additional Hellions are being made. Double armory is also being made here by Shadowelock. And what are we seeing in the main very early lair? It looks like, oh, we could be seeing some Roach Hydra play actually. And with the the muscular augmentations on the Hydra, we could be seeing a timing attack over here. And the question is, yes, we are looking at +1. Will we see the Carapace upgrade any second? I do believe we should be. It looks like these Hellions are trying to make something happen. Widow Mines are being constructed as we speak, and these Roaches can actually tank quite a bit of damage from the Widow Mines. And Overseer being made as well, spraying the creep wisely into his own base, just to make sure that it's entirely covered by creep. And here we go, Hydralisk Den is done. Will you see the Carapace upgrade? Yes. Carapace upgrade is done. I'm really curious to see what the upgrade will be. It should be Muscular Augmentation. If my calculations are correct, it should be Muscular Augmentation, so that additional Hydras could be made and just sent across the field. Or just being able to micro. And yeah, there we go, Muscular Augmentations. I like this guy. Jesus gets it. Jesus understands, and this is going to be a really awesome game because there are Widow Mines on the field. The question is, where are the Widow Mines at the moment? I do not see any Widow Mines. Oh, it looks like there is some Hellions trying to do some shenanigans, and I do believe the Hellions did spot the Roaches. And oh, this is why the Roaches are out. It's because there is a pesky Widow Mine, and this Widow Mine is just about to launch another volley. Looks like there will be some damage to be had, and here we go. I do believe it does kill one single drone, and we should be seeing the, yep, there comes the whoa, sorry about that guys, there comes the Overseer, and it looks like the Widow Mine will be cleaned up, not doing significant damage. And Muscular Augmentations is nearly done. The question is, will he wait for Groove Spines, and will he try for a 2-2 timing? And I would say he should not, he should just go for the kill right now, with a lot of Roaches, a lot of Hydras, and just smash the Terran dead. This style is somewhat Stefano-esque, but not quite, I would say. And here's another pesky Widow Mine. It looks like the Queen is helping fend it off. And yeah, this Roaches are so very robust when it comes to this particular style. And here we go, Groove Spines is on the way, and we should see a very awesome timing attack where by the time they're across the field, the Groove Spines should kick in. Additional Overseer is being morphed in, not exactly sure where, but the more Overseers the better, I guess, because you just don't want to be caught out by any of these Widow Mines, which can be just so very annoying. And it looks like Shadow just expanding and also getting some supply depots at the back, trying to be as defensive as possible. Also getting a nice Widow Mine placement over here. So there shouldn't be any counterattacks. More Hydras are on the field, more drones are on the field. And the question is, will he opt for a 4th base? Or will he just go for this straight up style? To be honest, more Roaches are actually needed, as Hydras on their own can't really do that much damage. The Roaches are just so much better as tanks rather than DPS dealers. And Hydras on their own still are kind of robust to some degree against Marines, but not really advisable toe-to-toe. And what are we seeing on the list? We're seeing more Roaches are being made, +2/+2 is being made. I do believe this Infestation Pit is being made specifically to go to Hive Tech. And this Terran player, this style of play is really good. But against this particular style of play, I don't know, man. I mean, this can also work, in my opinion, because you need a lot of good hits with the good hits with the Widow Mines to actually pull it off. But to be honest, now going for a 4th, he's going to be very good economically, and going double expanding, in fact, going for a 5th as well wisely, because even if you lose this 4th, you still have a base to go back on, you still have that additional hatchery for production. So yep, pretty good. Although all these overlords just chilling out over here. It's like, hey guys, where's the party at? And it looks like we'll be seeing Viper play, as a lot of evolution changes have been made, and Vipers are very good. Forces the Marines to either come up close and personal and go one-on-one with the Roaches, or back off and try and micro out of there. And yep, I really do like Vipers, man. Pretty darn good, pretty darn good. And opting to actually use go for the melee upgrade, so you could be seeing a transition later on into Ultras. And here we go, looks like there's a drop by Shadowelock. This base is completely wide open, and it looks like a double drop going for this 5th base as well. This base being nice, a little bit of a buffer, and meanwhile moving his main force in. But the Queens will spot this, but yeah, I do believe that this little bit of harass has done its job, and as you can see, it looks like the 3rd will be under siege, and I do believe the Queens have in fact been dispersed with, and this drop is still here, and this drop is still here. And it looks like the 4th is now under siege, Widow Mines everywhere, and this could be horrific for the Zerg player, Jesus. And now it looks like the Zerg player is now down to 3 bases. Now on even par with the Protoss player. I mean the Terran player. Where did the Protoss come from? Sorry guys, I've been casting way too many Protoss games. And it looks like a nice little beachhead has been established, but the Ultralisk Cavern is on the way. I'm not sure whatever happened to that extra drop. Oh, there we go. The drop has returned with a vengeance in the main, and as you can see, the Zerg player is moving his entire army in, and we should see another drop at the 3rd. While this beachhead just becomes more and more powerful. There we go. Drilling Claws upgrade is being manufactured. That brings it down to 1 second burrow timing. Down from 3. And finally, it looks like the drop has not been picked off. Still 3 Marines are being very, very annoying. And it looks like we're looking at the final countdown. A lot of these units are not attacking. And there are quite a few Widow Mines, I do believe. But the Widow Mines do get picked off. Some clouds do go down, and oh my goodness, Shadowelock is on the back foot, and a lot of these blinding clouds have gone down, and it looks like Shadowelock is in a terrible position. The Overseer is in front, and a lot of these units are actually gonna die, and these roaches soaking up so much damage. And now the Ultralisks are on the way, and I'm not sure whether the Zerg player will go into this, and I keep apologizing for saying Protoss player. But oh, the Ultralisks, I mean, sorry, the Hydralisks, you can't leave, bro. You can't leave, and the roaches are taking care of the SCVs. It looks like the 3rd base is under siege again. Shadowelock knows he needs to make something happen. He cannot afford to lose this command center, and it looks like it will just barely survive. Needs to bring it down, and needs to bring an SCV to repair it. Command center is taking so much damage, but the 3rd has been sacked quite significantly. And it looks like, oh, this Widow Mine from Shadowelock, I do believe, no, it has not taken a single kill, surprisingly. And it looks like it will be picked off right before it launches its payload again. And it looks like these Vipers are going to be intercepted by Shadowelock if he runs in and stims. Could do so much damage, and here's the stim. The Vipers do go down without, actually one blinding cloud does in fact land. The Blinding Cloud does land, but guess what? The Zerg has reestablished his main. He is going for the Ultralisk transition, and also getting his +3 attack on his range units. And yes, this game has literally made my mind numb. And it looks like the 4th base will be reestablished. This one Overlord has provided so much information throughout. And it looks like this command center is still on fire, being repaired by 1 SCV, because that is how cost effective Shadowelock is. And look at these Ultralisks just bugging out like hell. I do believe the purpose of these will just be to soak up the damage, but they need to be in front. No blinding clouds and a lot of burrowed Widow Mines, and looks like the Widow Mines have swayed the tide of battle, now having to retreat. And yeah, Widow Mines are just pretty darn good, man. And here's another drop in the main, but guess what? There's so many Spore Crawlers. Already picks off 1 drop before it does any damage. I do believe only 1 unit actually dropped, and pulling his entire force back, not really the best thing to do in this case. Let's look at the Workers Kill tab. Shadowelock is in the lead only by a little bit. It looks like he will be just going again to attack this 5th base, which hasn't really done much in this game, as this is the main base in my opinion, but still killing off as many hatcheries is a wise thing, and kind of wasting his boost there, but he doesn't really care. And it looks like that random Marine just gets picked off. Or actually, this is a Marauder. I do believe more spores might actually be needed. Another queen should be being made, and yes, it is. Here's another draw. Because why not, bro? Why not? Just drop. Just keep dropping. And so many Ultralisks are on the field at the moment. Ultra Hydra Roach seems to be the name of this game. I would like to really see some more Vipers being made. But as you can see, the Zerg player is really low on gas. And a lot of SCVs are just about to be sacked. Including one mule. Not really sure why he's going to sack a mule. But here comes the party. And it looks like everything gets sacked. Trying to free up some more supply. Bring in more army supply. So he can afford to do it. Looks like Adrenal Glands upgrade is being researched as well. Melee is being researched as well. And it looks like the +3 Carapace is also being done. Wouldn't mind seeing like a single high Ultralist being left in the main. Just to pick off drops. It looks like the 5th base is under siege. And the one Marine does not pull it off. Oh my goodness, his medevac is in such a dangerous position. So many Hydralisks, but here comes the massive engagement. There are no fungal growths to be had. Everything is running into it. So many Ultralisks just melting. And it looks like the Ultralisk's sole purpose in life was to try and buy enough time for the Hydras to eat through everything else. And it looks like, wow, the Zerg player has actually pulled back the Terran quite a bit, but he's overextending way too much. And it looks like there will be, the tables have been turned yet again. And Marauders, who apparently one of their weaknesses are Ultralisks, just get ruined. And a lot of links have been made. Link counterattacks would be a wise decision in this case. But I don't know, man. I wouldn't mind seeing a transition into Broodlords, as there's just so many Marauders on the field at the moment. We're looking at 20 Marauders, 27 Marines, and let's just see about 6 Widow Mines in total. No tanks whatsoever, no Vikings. It'd be a really nice tech switch instead of sticking with this tech, which is slowly just digging the Zerg player's own grave, sticking with Ultra, sticking with these melee-based units, these melee-based ground units, I should say, as Broodlords would just be so much better. But now the Terran player going for his 5th base of his own, going to be on par with the Zerg player. And it looks like the 5th base of the Zerg player is going to be under siege. So many Spine Crawlers and so many Spore Crawlers are being made. The position is somewhat questionable of these Spore Crawlers, and they're not going to be made on time. But there's just no creep spread over here, so this base should easily be taken out. But it looks like there will be another massive engagement, but there are just so many units if they get caught up in the open. And it looks like they will be caught out in the open, but all the Widow Mines burying instantaneously, and everything just melts. Everything just melts, and whatever is left is nearly dead. Massive engagement. My computer can't really take it, but it looks like this is all she wrote. And all the Ultras slowly die. And more Ultralisks are being made, because why not? And the 5th base is just about to go down after a few volleys from these Marauders. But instead of that, the AI opts to attack that spine. But wisely, Shadowelock managed to pick off that hatchery, and going straight for the 3rd, which is completely undefended, albeit a few lings. And a tech switch into air would have been so much better from the Zerg player, but he doesn't care about air, man. He's like, ground. That's the way to play. And yep, ground play, man. Ground play. That's what life taught us, man. Ground play is best play. And Ultralisk just coming in from every angle right now. Baneling Nest is being morphed in. Not even sure why that's being morphed in at this point, as there are just so many Marauders. And we're looking at 26 Marauders and 28 Marines. But the real hero here are the Widow Mines, which have done so much damage. Just so much damage. And it looks like round number 6 or so is starting up, and it looks like melee level 3 is just about to finish. And it looks like this should be the death toll of the Zerg player. All these, instantaneously burrowing. Gonna be broken as hell. Instantly unburrowing. Instantaneously burrowing again. Fortunately, they cannot kill buildings, but they don't need to, man. They just need to zone out the Zerg player, as he cannot enter and engage this battle, but he's gonna try, and everything melts. And Shadowelock looks like he will take this game rather easily. Jesus just could not pull it off. Sticking to ground, not really the best thing. Getting more Ultras, not really the best thing. Jesus is defeated. Shadowelock just takes a couple of moments to soak in the victory. Very hard fought and well earned victory that was. I am the Mish King, and I'll see you guys next time.